In our previous video, we created a client called Dream Company in HPE OpsRamp. With OpsRamp, you discover, monitor, and manage resources included in your HPE GreenLake Flex Solutions, such as compute, storage, and networking, with an agentless approach, using a gateway collector appliance installed behind your firewall. This appliance can be a virtual machine or a cloud-native application that runs on your own Kubernetes cluster. In this video, we will use a VM appliance running on a VMware environment. Let's get started. From the OpsRamp console, select the client you created in the previous step. For us, it's Dream Company. In the top navigation menu, select Setup an account and click Collector Profiles. Click the Add button to create a gateway collector profile. Enter a profile name and a description. There are two types of gateway collector. There's the classic gateway that can be installed on a virtual machine, and there's the next-gen gateway that runs in a Kubernetes environment, and it's the HPE recommended gateway collector appliance. You can use an ISO image or an OVA image to run the next-gen gateway in a single node Kubernetes cluster in a VM. Or you can run the next-gen gateway in your own Kubernetes environment. In this case, select the cloud-native application. For each type of gateway, you can find the detailed instructions to install and activate your gateway. In this video, we will use the OVA image. So we click Next. First, let's download locally the virtual appliance OVA. And then we will follow the instructions to install the gateway collector appliance as a virtual machine on an hypervisor. In our example, the hypervisor is a VMware ESXi server. So let's switch to our vSphere console. We select to deploy an OVF template, and we use the OVA file that was downloaded earlier. We have to specify a name for the VM and a place in the VMware environment to host that VM. Then we select a compute resource such as an ESXi cluster, an ESXi host, or a resource pool for the virtual machine. We can review the details and click Next. In the next step, we select the data store to host our VM. And we want to make sure that the thick provision lazy zeroed disk format is selected. Finally, we want to select which network to connect the virtual machine to. In our case, it's the public network. We can click Next and review the changes and click Finish. We can now monitor the building of our VM. While this is happening, we can check in the instructions that we need to wait until the VM is powered on before we can connect to it to continue with the activation phase. At the bottom of the screen, we can see that OpsRamp is waiting for the gateway to come up. The building of our VM continues. It will be soon over. There we go. We can go and check the VM in the inventory of our hypervisor and click on the VM to get more details and to start the VM. We have to wait until the VM is fully started and we can capture its IP address. Using this IP address, we can continue with the activation instructions and use your favorite terminal to log into the VM using the provided username and password, and run the step 1 instructions. In the first two steps, we change the host name, and then we change the password. In the third step, we install the Kubernetes cluster, AK3S. In the last step, we register the gateway collector appliance in the OpsRamp platform. When this is finished, we can click Finish and the activation is completed. The outbound communication from the gateway to the OpsRamp platform is fully secured using TLS 1.2 and TCP port 443. You will need to set this up in your firewall in order for the gateway to connect to the OpsRamp SaaS platform. For even more security, it is recommended to only open TCP port 443 to the IP addresses range of OpsRamp, which you can find from the online documentation. This is also known as whitelisting IP addresses in your firewall. Once this is correctly configured, the gateway collector is installed and registered in your OpsRamp instance. Go to the OpsRamp collector profiles. The status of the gateway collector appliance should be now connected. You can also navigate to the infrastructure tab and select resources to visualize the newly installed and registered gateway. We can open a standard dashboard to start monitoring our environment, only composed for now of the gateway VM we deployed, the single node Kubernetes cluster, and the pod running the gateway collector. In the next video, we will install an integration module to start monitoring compute resources from our HPE GreenLake Flex environment.